Let's look at how to hold scissors. I'm going to show you some scissors. One of the things that you'll notice about a couple of these pairs of scissors is that they have one larger hole and one smaller hole. And this pair over here has a larger hole and a smaller hole. This pair right here has two holes that are the same. Now I'm not sure what kind of scissors you have, but we're going to talk about the ones that have the larger hole and the smaller hole. Okay? If you have one like that, that's okay. Your fingers can go either direction in those scissors. So I'm going to show you really fast. You can put your thumb and your finger in the hole, and they will open and close. Okay? Or I can even turn it around and put them in there, and they still open and close. Okay? Alright, let's talk about if you have a pair that look like one of these two. Okay? I'm going to use these here. These are made this way so that the larger hole can use two fingers. You can put two fingers in there. The smaller hole is for your thumb. Okay? So when you get ready to put on your pair of scissors, two fingers go in the bottom, your thumb goes in the top. Now, let's try that again. If I have them upside down, is my thumb going to be able to go down here? I'd have to turn my hand upside down, okay? So my thumb can't fit if the small hole is on the bottom. So we want the small hole to be on the top so that our fingers go in the bottom and our thumb goes on the top, okay? Now these two fingers back here, they don't do anything. They're just there to kind of help hold on to stuff. But it's these three fingers right here that do the cutting, okay? Two fingers and one finger. Let's go back to the one that just has the two holes that are the same. If you're only going to have room to put one finger in the hole, then I put the tall man finger, okay? Not your pointer finger. If you put your pointer finger in there, you don't have a lot of control. See, it fell right off of Mrs. Watson's hand. It's hard to control it. See? But if you put your tall man in there, then this finger can help guide it a little bit. Okay? Like that. Alright. Now, let's show you how to cut a straight line. Okay? Mrs. Watson's going to draw a straight line. I'm going to pick up my scissors. I'm going to check, do I have the small hole so I can put my thumb in it and my other two fingers down here. Now I have a helper hand. The helper hand is what's going to hold my paper, okay? So I'm going to start out holding it down here at the bottom where I'm going to start cutting, okay? So I'm going to start cutting on this line, and I open and close my fingers. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm opening and closing my fingers. Mostly my thumb is doing the work. Opening and closing my fingers, and I'm following right on that line. My helper hand's holding the paper. Now it's getting too far down, so I might have to move this helper hand. So I'm going to move the helper hand up here to the top. And I keep opening and closing my thumb. My thumb is the one going up and down, okay? Till I get to the end, okay? Let's talk about how to cut out a circle. So here's my circle. Okay. Now once again, I'm going to make sure I have my thumb in the little hole, my two fingers in the big hole. Got my helper hand holding my paper. I'm going to start over here until I get to the line. It doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to follow this line around. I'm still just opening and closing my thumb. I'm going around Now I have to turn my paper and hold on with my helper hand again. I didn't turn my scissor hand, I turned my helper hand. Okay? My scissor hand is still the same. My thumb's always on the top. My thumb's not upside down like this. I'm not going up and down this way. My thumb's always on the top. And I'm going around, and then I might have to turn my paper again. And I turn my paper again. My scissor hand isn't turning, it's my helper hand turning the paper. Following that line. Turn that paper some more. Keep turning till I get all the way back to the beginning. There I have my circle cut out. Okay? One more thing about cutting. Oops, sorry. If you have a corner that you need to cut on, so you're going to cut this corner, you have to cut, once again, thumb in the little hole, two fingers in the big hole, okay? You have to cut on the line. Here's my helper hand. Cut on the line. Now you may think you're at the end of the line right there, but if I take this out, you can see you've got to cut a little bit further and then turn the corner. Okay, turn your paper, not your scissors. Okay, let me show you what some kids do. When they're cutting out a square, they cut, they think they're at the end, so they turn their paper, and then they, oops, and they cut off the corner because they didn't go far enough, okay? You have to make sure that you go far enough that when you turn, you don't cut off the corner. See, and if you go too fast, oh, I cut the corner off, okay? So you have to be careful when you're cutting to try to go all the way to the end. And it's not a race, okay? And it's not, we don't chop, we do small little cuts, okay? If you go too fast, then you get choppy, okay? You gotta go nice and slow and smooth. And I'm not going all the way down. Look at that. Every time let me get it, see if I can get it. I'm not going all the way down. The tip of my scissors aren't closing. I'm moving, 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 okay? I'm cutting and moving. I'm not chopping. Slow, easy cuts. Okay, that was just some little tips about when you get ready to cut. Remember, the big thing is keep your thumb on the top in the little hole, okay?